Welcome to episode 4 of the Keep Up podcast.
That's an even number for you.
It is.
People who don't know math.
Yeah, welcome to the math hour with
Yes.
the Keep Up.
I don't know if I could watch an hour of math talk.
No.
No.
I probably couldn't.
No.
Maybe.
I mean, we had to do it in school, I guess, but...
Yeah, but how'd you do?
Oh, I slept like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Math was...
I still passed, but...
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I failed once and then came back and did it again.
Math or...
Algebra.
Like...
Failed. Like, I got a single number percent.
Algebra's not that hard.
Well, I don't know.
Wait, a single number?
A single. Yeah, I think I got like 6 or 7.
A 6 or a 7? How is that even possible? Would you write your name on everything? How'd you get any percentage at that point?
Because I had to do the final, and I did really bad on that too. So I failed, and then I redid it the next year, but it was a year-long class, so I got my credits for it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could get that low of a grade.
What about you? Did you fail any classes?
I don't even think I ever saw my last report card in high school because
Why's that?
it came in. I think it got mailed to us because it was like my graduating one, and our parents were not happy about it. But so I got yelled at about it, and then I got in a fight, I think, with them, and then I ended up leaving. Oh yeah, your dad got really mad at me.
This is getting deep, guys. We're opening some wounds.
I don't remember. We just got in this argument, and I ended up leaving.
Is this when you ran away and there was the kid in your car?
The kid?
Wasn't there
a kid?
Wasn't there a kid?
There was a cat. There wasn't a kid in my car.
I thought it was a special kid locked in your car.
No, dude, man, you just ramped that story way
I
up.
thought it was a special kid that escaped from his house and was sitting in your car.
No, man. No, it was a cat. One of our cats, for some reason, was in my car. So I'm I'm angry. We're fighting about my bad grades or whatever, so the flash forward ending of that story is I have no idea what my last report card was. It couldn't have been good though, because I got in a pretty serious fight about it. Mm-hmm. So then I get in the car and I go to drive around the block and I just start hearing this devil noise, from the back, and it's dark, it's late.
Can you emulate it?
It was like a wailing, So I'm in the front seat. It's dark out, and I start driving away, and we lived on this back road. Mm-hmm. So you would go straight, take a left, main road. But if you take a couple more lefts, you just end up back at our house. Mm-hmm. That's how a circle works, I guess.
Well, it's a square
or a square, whatever.
Yeah, the shapes. Crap, we're back to math. Anyways,
did you do better in geometry?
No. No, I passed geometry at least.
Well, that's good.
Okay, finish your story.
So, I don't know. This thing's flipping out in the back seat. It's in the same vehicle as me. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what it is. So, I'm flipping out, but I'm like, what do I do? Do I just stop in the middle of the road? So, just keep driving, and there's this weird, devil noise from the back seat. And I pull back up to our house, and I get out, and I creep to the back because I'm I don't know what I'm going to see back there. And it's one of our friggin' cats. And apparently, I never knew this, but I guess he was terrified of traveling in vehicles. But I'm why are you in my car? How'd you even get in my car?
Did you have a window open? Or?
Yeah, I must have. And he just was hanging out in the back of my car.
That's so scary. You're
it was horrifying. Exactly, because I'm what could possibly be making that sound? There's something that thinks it's gonna die in the back of my car, and I'm alone with it. Dude, it was terrifying. It was the scariest 2.5 minute drive around a block.
I can't believe you didn't crash. You're
the whole time I'm literally I'm gripping my steering wheel and what do I do? And the freaking cat jumped out. I was I am so angry at cats.
I would be flipping. All I can imagine is a scene from a movie where you're screaming and then it jumps to the cat where it's
That's totally what it was like.
And you're just going in a square.
We're both screaming Oh, I kind of want to recreate that scene at some point.
Yeah, I'll be the cat. I'm good in cat suits.
Yeah.
You ever see Cats? I was in that.
Cats?
The musical?
Yeah. No, I actually never have seen Cats.
Yeah, I was everyone in it.
Really?
Yeah.
You're this was a one man.
Yeah.
That's
it
good.
was, the reviews are kind of rough, but.
Where was it reviewed? I'd like to read some.
The Daily
Planet?
The Daily Talk Town.
Daily Talk Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, DTT.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's they're very popular in Spain. So next time
was it in Spain when you performed it?
No, they just thought they'd review me.
That's good.
So speaking of cats, I have no segue there.
All right, so I'm assuming you're talking about Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Okay.
Are there cats?
I feel like there was a cat. Cats don't like when you talk about them.
I guess so.
Your voice.
Cat out your tongue.
I feel like
come on, that was great.
It wasn't. Stop,
dude. My jokes—they're on point. Anyways, Jessica Jones came out last week. This week,
I think it was last week,
the 20th. Today is the 25th.
Something like that.
Yeah, 25th.
It's out.
Mm-hmm.
We're 3 episodes deep. And what do you think of it so far?
I actually really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's like Marvel trying to do like, I don't know if they're trying to make it more adult shows or just kind of do their own thing with Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a much more adult Marvel show, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Just like Daredevil, which was
right.
Which is, and I like it. I think it's really cool. You most of the time you don't see superheroes like killing or like maiming people.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's just kind of you punch them in the face and they get knocked out.
Sure.
So I like the adult approach.
Yeah.
I like the themes of adultness.
Yeah, it seems well put.
Yeah, thank you.
It seems like obviously we haven't really talked about Daredevil much on the show yet, but Daredevil was incredible and was definitely way darker than anything we've seen in the Marvel Universe. And I want to talk about that, actually. I think it's really interesting how... So there's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which kind of has its own tone to it. And now this like Marvel TV universe on Netflix has its own tone, but they're all in the same world.
Right.
And that's... I can't really think of another... I mean, I guess Marvel's doing all kinds of things that are unprecedented. Like even with their string of the cinematic universe is something that we've never really seen before to that degree. But now the way it's extending onto these Netflix series, because it is such a different tone, is so interesting thinking that, you know, I don't know, the Captain America movie took place in the same universe that Daredevil took place, that Jessica Jones is taking place in. It's almost like the Marvel Knights of their, you know, film catalog, you know,
which is cool that they're treating it kind of like comics, where like they can jump to their different universes, I guess.
And you know, also along those lines, that's why I'm super stoked to see the Punisher in Daredevil.
Oh yeah, my eyes just started watering. I have no idea why.
You just, you know, move.
I'm so emotional. Yeah, the Punisher coming.
The Punisher coming.
Him coming to Daredevil is cool because we're gonna have an actual Punisher in this universe now.
Yeah,
as opposed to, you know, they disregarded the other Punisher movies, which were great. I loved Thomas Jane. And he was really good.
I thought so too. Yeah. Did you see Dirty Laundry?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah. Which is cool because it shows that he's willing to do the character again.
Yeah, and I like him as the Punisher. Did you see Warzone?
No,
Punisher
I didn't.
Warzone?
I avoided that one.
Oh, dude. Okay, we gotta watch it.
Was it awful?
It's ridiculous.
Really?
I mean, it's not awful. It's like... We'll have to watch it. I don't even know how to describe.
All right, next week we'll talk about Warzone, I guess.
Yeah, we might get into some Warzone. But yeah, so Jessica Jones, I'm really enjoying so far. I'm starting to get, like I said, we're 3 episodes in, and it's starting to get a little bit more into the villain, Kilgrave, who we've been learning like pieces of as it goes, and we're also getting pieces of Jessica Jones' history and who she is and her abilities and stuff like that. So it's very... I know very little about Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I know like next to nothing.
Yeah, so, and I like that coming into a show like this, because the way they're painting it is kind of like, I don't know, it's not, I wouldn't call it a slow burner, there's just a lot of information.
Right.
And I like it, the whole show has this like, I don't know, I don't even know what you'd call it. I almost want to say it's like,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, I almost want to say, like, sluggish. Like, it's kind of dragging, but it's not in a bad way. Like, you're slowly moving through.
So, like a slow burner, but...
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just said it wasn't, but maybe it is. But it's not. It's not, because it's really intense. Like, I feel like emotionally, it feels very, like... I'm starting to feel by this episode the way that I think Jessica is feeling all the time because of Kilgrave being alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess minor spoilers here. We know that Jessica Jones has a history with this character Kilgrave, who is a mind controller.
Mm-hmm.
And she is so like affected by even the mention of his name or the sound of his voice and these flashbacks that she has
Mm-hmm.
because he had such power over her. And they've shown a couple quick glimpses of how horrifying it is to have a guy like that with ill intention with
Mm-hmm.
such power.
Mm-hmm.
So in this last episode where we finally come face to face with him,
Mm-hmm.
I started to feel like, okay, like he's horrifying.
Right. He's
He's
just some guy, but he has all these crazy powers to control people.
Yeah. They had a little scene where he goes into that family's house
Mm-hmm.
and just show him quickly walking in unannounced. He has them all operate as he wants them to
Mm-hmm.
operate. They do different things and whatever he tells them to do. And that kind of influences and I guess part of not really knowing how it works, like you said, is part of what's so intense and scary
Right.
about it.
Because you notice he did make a phone call, but he never controlled it.
Right.
So I wonder if you had to be looking at him, maybe it has to do with his eyes, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Or he just chose not to
Right.
do anything with
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. And one criticism I've heard about Jessica Jones so far was that we're in a universe, like we were saying, that this is where the Avengers took place.
Mm-hmm.
You have gods from other realms coming in. You have the Hulk
Mm-hmm.
and all these other things that have gone on in this universe. But people are having a hard time believing that there's a mind controller.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about that? Do you think that's kind of
I think people are at this point right now where they don't want to believe whether or not, even there's proof in their face, but I think people are so scared.
so scared?
So scared. So afraid that they just don't want to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, for some reason, people see that more far-fetched as opposed to Thor coming in or something.
Right.
They think that's more unbelievable. But it also makes for a better story. Because
Right.
if everyone believed it right away, everyone would be looking for
It'd be
Kilgrave.
a different thing, right?
So yeah, I think it's it's understandable because everyone's afraid and don't want to believe that there's super people among them other than the Avengers.
It is a different thing too because you have there's Thor and Loki. They're from another realm, so it's all right. There's the gods.
Would you consider them aliens?
Yeah.
Or do you consider them like gods? They're just... Because I've heard both, and I don't know... Personally, I have no idea where to place them.
I guess I don't either. I'm sure there's probably, a canonical answer to that that is accurate. Gods, right?
What's the definition of an alien? Just a separate entity?
Technically, yeah, I guess, technically by the definition of the word alien, yes, because they're foreigners to our planet.
Mm-hmm.
So both?
I can see it. I don't know. I don't know if they're just superpowered aliens or if they're actually the Norse gods.
I guess they're gods. Because then you have the gods like Thor and Odin, but then what are the frost giants?
Aliens. I consider them aliens,
Okay.
but not. But that's what I'm saying. It's a tough to place them.
It's interesting. But I guess so from Earth's perspective, excuse me. There's, whatever, they're gods, they're alien. I guess aliens is what, and then there's the whole alien invasion that took place. And then Captain America's a genetically enhanced super soldier. Iron Man's just to do with a suit. And so I guess the whole mind control thing, bringing it back to Kilgrave, is something new for people to believe. Because I try to think of it okay, in real life, if we had all this stuff happen, maybe it would be a little easier to believe something like that. But it's still new territory.
So I wonder if Scarlet Witch exists. I wonder when this takes place, before or after Scarlet Witch, because does she control minds or just places ideas into heads? She did the nightmare thing.
Yeah, she did the nightmare thing. So I think she's a mind controller.
So I'm just curious.
She's a mystic,
So I'm curious if they've shown her off. People have seen her, so the mind control. It's just
that's true too. Yeah,
people have seen mind control. I don't know, but
and then there's the idea of different individuals. So the excuse me, Carrie Ann Moss's character in Jessica Jones, who I forget her name, but she's the lawyer, and she is very more doubtful. Like, granted, she's got this angle from a job, like as a lawyer, she has to prove that there's something worth people's time, considering that he's real. So that's like a different angle too. It's not just personal belief. It's like she, in her job, defending someone who was affected by this mind reader and controller. She needs to make people believe in that. So she's got all these other perceptions that she has to like kind of control and stuff like that, or consider. So I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. Like, in how much, if that were to happen in our world, like how much more does that open your mind to believe things that are like, oh, this isn't, this sounds crazy, but I've seen a giant green monster.
Right. I would
like,
just assume anything's possible at that point.
Yeah. I mean,
but maybe that's our nerdy comic brain being
could
like,
be it.
Of course.
And I feel like that's kind of how I operate on a day-to-day basis anyways.
Yeah, you just believe everything is real.
Yeah, not everything.
So another cool thing about Jessica Jones is the music. I think
the music is amazing.
Super like stylish.
Yeah, it really is.
You
very
said
jazzy.
you said Spanish guitar. We heard that.
Yeah, there was one in this episode, one scene where it just felt like Spanish guitar.
Yeah,
and it was very smooth.
I noticed in the first episode there was a very noir type music, like it had jazz, like you were saying, and it's cool. It's really cool music to add to a superhero show, because most of the time you expect action set pieces and like big orchestras, but it's a lot of smooth, like quiet music. Right,
and I guess that's part of that's kind of the mood that I was referencing earlier. Is this? It's like, I guess the show has this like smoothness to it, so it's not like, I don't want to use the term slow or anything, but it's such a gradual. Yes, I guess it's stylish, and the music adds to it. Like you said, it's not like this big action piece over and over again, it's not this collection of action scenes. It's a lot of mystery and intrigue, and the whole show has kind of a noir feel to it.
Right.
So, and the music definitely adds to that. They did, I think, a lot of the feel of it is similar to Daredevil, where the music played such a big role into it. But this one's definitely more of like a low key. Jessica Jones is, from what I'm gathering, she was once in the superhero thing, as she said in this episode. Daredevil, we're seeing the whole kind of birth of him. So this is like a different, like, post superhero saga for Jessica Jones. Which just kind of lends itself to a whole different mood. But yeah, the music is incredible right from the credits. Like the first one, I was like, all right,
this is what we're getting into.
Yeah.
What else? Luke Cage, he's in it, which makes me surprised because they're having a Luke Cage show,
and he's getting a lot of screen time.
Yeah,
it's not like
a lot, every episode so far. But maybe something happens at the end of this where he goes off on his own and becomes a hero, or I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm curious. He's another one that I don't know a ton about. Most of what I know about them is from reading New Avengers, which we talked about Bendis a little bit. And he's one of the writers on the show. So it's really cool because he wrote New Avengers, and that, like I said, that's a lot of where I know anything about these two characters from. So it's really cool seeing him involved in this project. And I'm interested to get to know more about them and their origin. And all we know right now, Jessica said her abilities came from an accident, and Luke said his came from an experiment.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I'd like to see how she got her powers. Maybe we'll have a flashback episode or something. So,
and I guess that's another thing about these series is such a new way. I mean, we're dealing with like pretty much a 12-hour movie when these shows come out, because you're not waiting a week to watch the next episode.
Netflix releases them all in one go.
It's all there,
which is great.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I don't like it because I want to. I want it to last. I don't want to finish it in a week.
Yeah. So I guess you could look at it either way. It's like, if you're looking at it from a film perspective, you're getting so much. Like, what if Avengers was a 12-hour mini? You know what I mean? Like,
incredible.
Excuse me. So that's an interesting thing, just seeing this kind of new way. It's just a different method of storytelling. Like, it's the same in a way, because you can also binge, any show you want on Netflix right now to a degree. But it's I don't know. It's something I'm still kind of getting used to, I guess. It's like, all right, so this is all just here. Do I just sit down and watch it all straight? like I have a couple friends who definitely, as soon as it came out, straight through the whole thing, And then
that's a lot of watching.
It's a lot, you know. But it's got to be interesting from a writer's perspective to be like, we have to put it all together, but have more than the amount of time you would have in a film,
right?
To give all this information about a character. So I don't know. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I like your opinion. Battletoads.
Battletoads?
Played it and beat it. One of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
We're talking like original Battletoads?
Original.
Did you play this on the Ouya?
No, Rare Replay came out on Xbox.
Oh.
The only thing is, it does have
autosave.
So there's no way.
I know.
Impossible.
No, I can't even judge. That's how I beat Mega Man like 1 through 7.
Anniversary Collection.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
because the Wily's castles, man. What do you want me to do? It's ridiculous.
It's so hard. The Wily's. Anyway, so Battletoads.
Yeah,
dude, I had like 6 hernias playing it. There's so the one level everyone knows when you're on the
jet ski.
The jet ski.
Oh,
it's that was hard. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
but there's one really far near the end of the game where you're on this like, I guess it's like a unicycle. It's like a bike but with one wheel, and he's holding on to it and his legs are waving in the back, and you have to. It's like this roller coaster. It's like this roller coaster,
awesome.
And you're being chased by this big like demon ball. And what you have to do is when there's a corner to turn, you have to turn in that direction to get the speed boost. But you're being chased by the ball, and the ball is just a little bit faster than you. So the whole time it's slowly catching up to you.
That's terrifying.
And you have to make it. Maybe I'll make you play it because it's literally the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Hours. It took me hours.
Really?
I had to quit and come back.
I was going to ask you how. Oh, was it quit and come back?
Yeah, it was that difficult. And yeah, there's a lot of hard things. But that was just so impossible because every time you took a corner, if you messed up once, that was the end of it.
Done.
You had to be perfect. And it's like a 2 or 3 minute scene where you have to be accurate the whole time. And it's like, oh, my heart.
So what's the final boss look like?
She's just the lady, you see her face the whole time, the big villain, I don't remember her name. But it's just her, and she has this like whirlwind move, and she's really big compared to you.
Yeah.
But she really wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
She took a lot of hits. It took a long time to beat her, but a lot of the time she does a tornado, you run to the other side of the screen, you jump, kick her, and then sometimes she'll start doing the tornado, and you can kick her again and get her stuck and do a bunch of moves.
So something of a method that you could figure out.
Right, you could eventually. But I totally understand why it's the hardest game ever. Because I don't know what they were thinking when they made it.
Well, it's first of all, the cave scene where you're dropping down.
Yeah.
How sweet is that scene?
It's awesome, but it's so hard because there's these stupid birds that clip you.
The birds are the worst. Yeah, and you're done.
Yeah.
So I think it's crazy how like, I forget where it was I was listening to, but a while back I heard this interview and they were talking about how playing video games now, there's no real doubt that you're going to beat the game.
Right.
That's the experience. That's part of what you're getting through is the story.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, like, you had to be amazing to beat a game because you're sitting down. I wonder how many hours it used to take people because, granted, we have games now that are like 40 to 60 hours, longer than that. Mm-hmm. But you wonder, like, how long did people spend playing Contra? To beat it. Granted, there's the Konami code, but how many hours did people spend on Battletoads? Mm-hmm. Like, I played it over and over and over again, I think on Sega.
Could have been on that. I don't remember what it was on, but...
Unless that was a later Battletoads.
The Battletoads and Double Dragon?
That was incredible.
Never played that one. I'll jump
therein lies my love for crossovers. Like anytime, like back then, dude, Double Dragon and Battletoads is the coolest thing ever.
That is such a cool idea.
Oh man, is the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never even seen the level you're talking about with the rolling ball.
Yeah, it's far into the game. I
never got that far. Like, as far as I knew, there were like 3 levels of that.
That's it. And that's all they probably could have designed because nobody would get past it.
Yeah, seriously.
And it's not that it's like, I know with older games, you learn the levels and you die and then restart and do it all.
Sure.
I did that as a kid.
Yeah.
But it's not that in Battletoads, you learn the level, you just get lucky and survive.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the idea. Because there's a lot of unfair, cheap hits and deaths and jumps and
nothing you can avoid.
Right. And I went through hundreds of lives.
What do you think the hour estimate is on beating it for you?
It took me. I did it in a day. I think like 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
With saves, obviously.
Sure,
so
yeah.
if I got to a boss and like I punched him, then saved. Like I did it cheap.
You can even do that?
Yeah, you can punch him, run to the corner, save. So I was cheap because they were cheap. So I had to cheat the cheaters.
You're like, it's only fair. I wonder if those games are more stressful now because of we're sort of spoiled.
Right. All the games are so easy. We have unlimited lives. You can just play it through like you said.
Run to a corner and recharge, and get shot, and then go out and do it again.
And the other games, you had to find the health. You had to risk your life to get the health. Yeah. And I mean, I still love old games today. I could play. But it's crazy to me to think that people actually beat Battletoads with 2 lives, or they gained lives while they were playing and stuff. But nowadays, nobody would care. Nobody would do it because it would be so difficult.
I think,
I mean, they have Dark Souls, which is like one of the hardest games out there ever, and I love that. It's beatable though. You have unlimited lives. It's not like you can get permanently killed and game over. So I don't know. It's just so funny today. So I played it, beat it, and it was a good game. It was really good.
Sure,
looked awesome, played awesome, but you couldn't get that far into it.
Dude.
But yeah, the later levels got really cool. The bosses were sweet, and I love it. I really enjoyed it, but I was so mad.
Yeah.
So mad.
Dude, they are anger-inducing. Some of those old, like, side-scrolling platformers, like, oh, man. Because you're so exposed, you know? Like, in newer games, maybe there's something you can hide behind. Maybe you can run away from an enemy. Yep. But when the screen is encroaching on you, and every time you progress, there's just more people coming at you. Or when you're dropping in that cave, like you said, the things that are cutting you down. It's like,
and it's so scary because you're like, I gotta kick him, and then they go start going across. You're like, well, guess I'm dead.
Did it give you an appreciation for having a Battletoad in the new Killer Instinct?
Yes, he's gone already though.
What?
It was a test character. They're testing him for next season.
Next season?
Yeah, they Killer Instinct, they release it by season. So there's I think the first season had 9 characters, second season had 9 characters.
You don't get to keep him?
No, he was a test. They were like, let's see how he works. So you tested him in his stage, and then next season I think he's the first character you get.
That's cool.
So it's cool. That has a lot of characters in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made me appreciate him more. I wish I went to go back to play him just to see his moves and stuff, but he was gone by the time I tried.
That's such a bummer.
But yeah, it's awesome. So I have Battletoads, and then there's Battletoads Arcade. I have no idea what that is.
Arcade.
So it's part of the Rare Replay. It's just
okay.
So that one I'll go to next. I'll give it like 5 years.
Yeah.